about actually the number of places and countries that are starting to be able to deal with their own crises. So as incomes go up, as countries become more democratic, as governance gets better, you see local response becoming better. I'm thinking of the Philippines, Mozambique, Cambodia, bits of Colombia. So there's a positive side. Crisis response in many countries is getting better. Well, I guess there are really three reasons, and these relate more to the, if you like, the old system rather than the countries that are starting to take control of their own destinies on disasters. The first is I worry that we take less risk as humanitarian agencies than we did 10 or 20 years ago. And primarily that's because we are larger organizations, more conservative, and worry about cash flow as much as cause and what we actually end up doing. I think we should also be concerned about whether what we actually do works. Is there evidence for the different sorts of techniques we use in crisis? And is there evidence that the techniques we use are the best? And then finally, I think it's the issue of whether we're adapting our aid constantly to fit local context, or are we just cookie cuttering things, being obsessed more about standards than about what actually works in that context at that time. Up until now, humanitarian assistance has essentially been, well, Western-led and Western-staffed, with many of the ground workers, if you like, being provided from the countries where assistance takes place. I think that's changing slowly. I would love to see it change a lot faster. For me, humanitarian agencies of the future will be local agencies led by local people, able to tap into global knowledge and global supplies. That's the future, not the large transnational NGOs and the like. Well, I think the first thing is to truly be a professional, actually know what you're doing and be able to measure whether you are competent or not. I think that's at the heart of it. The second stems from the same principle. A professional is somebody who puts ethics and altruism at the center of their work. And so, particularly in terms of protection, there are times when you may have to do things which are not what your government or your host government or your agency wants. There are times you're going to have to make choices, hard choices, often around human rights issues, often around whether you are willing to bear witness in court cases and the like. And I think that sense of individual commitment is something that really has to be at the front of your mind if you're truly going to be a professional in this business.